Star Wars Squadrons is the latest game in the Star Wars universe brought to us by EA and Motive Studios, which releases October 2nd. There's no denying that its predecessor, Star Wars Battlefront 2, is one of the most beautifully designed games of the last 5 years. It certainly had its moments. I mean, the absolute speeder crash of the pay-to-win negativity that ultimately froze it in carbonite before it even hit shelves was pretty terrible. Motive Studios, alongside DICE and Criterion, brought Battlefront 2 to us in 2017, and the story attached to it was actually one of the things I was looking forward to most. I mean, it focused on the infernal squad commander Iden Versio. We take control just as Death Star 2 is destroyed, the Emperor, for now, and all those little robot sausage dogs that weave around corridors like drunk ice skaters so cutely are completely eradicated. They're all gone. Dead. A strong femme fatale, she witnesses the implosion from the Endor forest on the surface below and is forced to flee in the knowledge that all she believes in, the empire she's fighting for, is gone. Yes, yes, yes. This is just what I want to see. We get to play as the dark side, for use of a better term. It felt almost as badass as it did playing as Vader wiping out all those Wookiees in The Force Unleashed. I love it. But what did they do? They bottled it. They ducked out, got cold feet early doors, and before the end of the first act, Iden had joined the rebellion, and blah 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 blah. From that point onwards, it was a total yawn fest. Apparently, towards the end of the Galactic Civil War, she was becoming disillusioned with the Galactic Empire's actions and defects. But I'm calling BS, mate. That was the beginning for me. The moment I realised that what I want to do is go rogue and champion the rise of the dark side. That was about an 8 out of 10. That was pretty decent. Enter Star Wars Squadrons, a brand new space combat sim which again takes place right after the Battle of Endor. Yeah, again. It's the same thing. But fine, let's just roll with it. The plot plays out two differing storylines right after Death Star 2 goes bye-bye, with missions from both the Galactic Empire and the New Republic Navy. In a variety of fan favourites from X-Wings to TIE Fighters, you take control of pilots from the Rebellion's Vanguard Squadron, overseen by your superior, Lyndon Javez, and the Imperial Titan Squadron, commanded by Teresa Kirill for the Empire. Varying missions from both sides dictate the back-and-forth storyline, much of which revolves around Project Starhawk, a new battleship that the New Republic are developing, but the Empire have sniffed out and gotten hold of. That's the depth of the story, in all reality. I mean, EA have shared themselves that despite the campaign running around 15 hours long, the multiplayer is really what they want players to focus on, such as dogfights mode and fleet mode. I'm going to come clean here, guys. I've been dubious. Really have. Flight sims are not my bag whatsoever. They're quite a specific experience, but as it's Star Wars, I'm of course invested regardless. What really turned my head actually, what really grabbed me by the chewies, was a recent trailer for the game. It was called Hunted. I mean, I urge you to check this thing out immediately actually. It follows the Empire's Titan Squadron, Case Cassandora and Rao Haimoon from New Republic's Vanguard Squadron. And some of the most incredible action I recall from a game trailer created solely to hype us for the coming release. But there was one bit in that trailer, something that really stood out for me. It was this bit.
Return to the Overseer for extraction.
I'd never really thought about the way in which the opposition, the Empire, the people who are fighting the good guys on the rebellion, felt in that moment. You know, it made me think really long and hard about the Imperial troopers, the Empire's fleet, and how they feel with the shoe on the other foot. What it's been like for them to have their world turned upside down once they lose and see the Death Star gone. It brought me right back to why the Iden Versio story in Battlefront 2 originally captivated me back in 2017. I want to know more about the dark side. Maybe this is finally the story the team wanted to tell. No more wimping out, no more head in the sand around the fan feedback. Motive Studios have gone at it again, wiping the slate clean it seems, and are trying something new. Star Wars fans, like me, have been subjected to arguably the biggest fan disservice since we had our eyeballs scorched by the nuclear fallout of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because we weren't smart enough to take cover inside lead-lined fridges. The Force Awakens, I loved it, mainly because it had such potential. FN2187. Finn, a stormtrooper who had gone rogue. Finn was what I didn't know I wanted. Insight into the dark side. What makes the Empire tick? But thanks to a directionless leader with no underlying knowledge of what makes Star Wars so special to us heading up the studio, The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker were utter poodoo, soulless, disorganized, gutless messes, and above all, they're predictable. Why are we focusing so much on the Jedi and the Rebellion? They suck Rancor rod. The sun officially set on my interest in the Republic like a Tatooinean solstice on that day. The dark side. This is now calling me. Kylo Ren was undoubtedly the best thing about the entire sequel trilogy. He was compelling, complex, torn. I am done with everything having a happy ever after, focusing on the good and righteous. I mean, why is The Mandalorian popping off? Aside from the return to grassroots Star Wars storytelling, bounty hunters are intrinsically badass, faceless renegades, and as fans, we've become so captivated, entranced by their differing moral codes. Are they going to do the right thing, or are they going to take your head off with a spoon? I don't know, but I'm in. I give Star Wars Squadrons a B. I do like where this is going. I want to see how the dark side story plays out. I want to see how that impacts my feeling towards Star Wars, which, as I said, has been really affected these last few years. I love that Motive Studios are trying to make up for previous mistakes as much as they can, and after an awful last few years for our beloved space opera, throwing back to the original trilogy has at least something going for it, right? Thanks for watching Plot Review. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, leave your comments below, and may the Sith be with you. It's 2020. I can do what I want now. The world's gone mad.